Today, we're diving into the everyday life of two countries where, at first glance, everything seems structured, punctual, and by the book, but in reality, their work cultures are vastly different. We're comparing a typical working day in Japan and Germany, from the early morning wake-up to the evening wind down. Why these two countries? Well, Japan is often associated with long hours, total dedication to the job, and even overwork to the point of exhaustion. On the flip side, Germany is known for its strict work-life balance, clear work hours, and a culture where overtime is often frowned upon. But is that the full truth? Or are there hidden sides we don't usually hear about? In this video, we'll walk through a regular workday in both countries. When do people wake up? How do they get to work? What does their daily routine look like? When do they take breaks? And how do they spend their evenings after work? We'll look at office culture, break habits, meal traditions, and even the unspoken rules, like whether you're expected to stay late just because your boss hasn't left yet. This isn't just about numbers and schedules. This is a deeper look at two very different mindsets, how people live, work, and balance their lives. You might be surprised to learn that in one country, it's perfectly normal to take a nap at your desk. In the other, you might actually get in trouble for staying too long after hours. At the end of the video, we'll put it all side by side and decide. Where is the workday more comfortable? Where is there more stress? And where does the structure make life feel more meaningful? In the end, it's up to you to decide which style fits you better. So, set your mental alarm clock, grab a quick breakfast, and let's jump in. Let's begin our journey in Japan, a country celebrated for its precision, discipline, and intense work ethic, where tradition and modernity coexist in almost every aspect of life, including the workplace. The average working day in Japan starts early. Most people wake up around 6 or 6:30 a.m., sometimes even earlier, especially those living in suburban or rural areas who commute long distances to city centers. Mornings are typically fast-paced, yet ritualistic. A quick shower, donning formal business attire, and a simple but balanced breakfast. This might include rice with miso soup, grilled fish, a raw egg over rice, or even a convenient onigiri rice ball, picked up from a local konbini convenience store. Breakfast is often eaten alone and quietly, sometimes while standing, especially for those in a hurry. In some families, especially those with children, mornings can be even more structured and demanding. Parents may help children prepare for school, pack lunches, and coordinate schedules before heading to work themselves. This cultural dedication to order and efficiency begins at home and continues into the professional world. Transportation is a defining part of the Japanese morning. In cities like Tokyo, Osaka, or Yokohama, millions rely on trains and subways to get to work. Despite the immense volume of passengers, the system is famously punctual. During rush hour, passengers queue in designated lines, and uniformed pushers, station staff, are present to assist with boarding by carefully pressing people into already crowded cars. It may look shocking to outsiders, but for locals, this is a part of daily life. The silence inside the train contrasts the chaos on the platform. Phones are silenced, conversations are rare, and most passengers either sleep, read, or scroll quietly. The efficiency and courtesy within this system reflect broader societal values of respect and consideration for others. The workday typically begins between 8:30 and 9:00 a.m. Upon arrival, employees greet their colleagues with bows and a formal "Ohayo gozaimasu," good morning. In many companies, especially traditional ones, a morning meeting takes place, known as chore, where team members align on goals, company values, or daily tasks. Sometimes these meetings include synchronized stretching or motivational chants, all to foster group spirit and harmony. Formality defines the office culture. The Japanese workplace is built upon seniority, hierarchy, and etiquette. Employees address one another with honorifics such as san, and higher-ranking individuals may be called bucho, department head, or shacho, company president. Communication is polite and often indirect. Confrontation is avoided, and ambiguity is preferred over blunt honesty. Even in emails and written correspondence, language is carefully chosen to convey respect. A key cultural expectation is to never leave before your boss. Doing so may be seen as disrespectful or lazy, regardless of whether your work is complete. Employees are also expected to maintain a tidy desk, dress conservatively, and show humility at all times. The concept of Han and Tame, one's true feelings versus public facade, plays a major role in how people behave in the office. There is also the notion of Wa, the principle of harmony, which influences team interactions and decision-making. Maintaining peace within the group is often more important than personal opinions. Though the legal workday is 8 hours, in practice, many Japanese professionals work 10 to 12 hours, especially in white-collar jobs. The cultural value of gamen, enduring hardships without complaint, encourages employees to persevere through exhaustion. Overtime is often unpaid, and many workers stay in the office long after they have completed their tasks. This persistent overwork has a darker side. Karoshi, or death from overwork, is a recognized societal issue, prompting government reforms and media attention. Cases of karoshi have been reported in various industries, from advertising to manufacturing, and have spurred national dialogue on the need for labor reform. Despite this, changes are beginning to take root. In recent years, the Japanese government has introduced Premium Friday, a campaign urging workers to leave early on the last Friday of each month. Some startups and progressive firms now offer remote work or flexible schedules, especially after the pandemic normalized hybrid models. However, these changes are still not widespread in large, traditional corporations. There are also local government initiatives supporting work-life balance through subsidies, public awareness campaigns, and pilot programs with shorter work weeks. Lunch in Japan is usually taken between 12:00 and 1:00 p.m. Most employees eat a bento, a neatly packed lunchbox featuring rice, vegetables, pickles, and meat or fish. Some bring homemade meals, others buy from convenience stores or visit small restaurants. The quality of food, even from convenience stores like 7-Eleven or Lawson, is often surprisingly good. Lunch breaks are short, usually around 30 minutes, and it's common to eat alone or quietly with colleagues. Socializing over lunch is rare compared to Western norms. In many workplaces, there is a designated lunchroom or break area, but it's often used in silence, with employees scrolling their phones or reading newspapers. One of the most culturally unique features of Japanese work life is inamuri, which translates to being present while asleep. It's perfectly acceptable to take a short nap at your desk, as it signifies that you've been working so hard, you're physically worn out. This stands in stark contrast to many other cultures where sleeping at work might be seen as lazy or unprofessional. Inamuri is even respected in many cases. It shows loyalty and personal sacrifice. As the afternoon progresses, meetings continue, often in very structured formats. Hierarchy dictates who speaks and in what order. Employees rarely challenge a superior's idea publicly, even if they disagree. Efficiency may suffer due to this rigid dynamic, but harmony and group cohesion are considered more important than individual expression. Employees are also expected to take detailed notes and sometimes produce written summaries of meetings, a practice that reflects accountability and attentiveness. The official end of the workday might be around 6 or 7 p.m., but many employees stay until 8, 9, or even later. This is especially true for younger staff, who feel the need to prove themselves. After work, it's common to participate in a namakai, an informal gathering at an izakaya, Japanese-style pub, involving drinks, food, and sometimes karaoke. These gatherings serve a dual purpose: social bonding and corporate loyalty. Declining these invitations can be risky, as it may be seen as antisocial or uncommitted to the team. Attendance is not formally required, but strongly encouraged. During namakai, office hierarchies relax slightly. Employees may speak more freely, jokes are shared, and even introverts might open up after a drink or two. However, etiquette still governs the atmosphere. Juniors pour drinks for seniors, and certain seating arrangements must be respected. It is also customary to never let your senior's glass sit empty, a sign of attentiveness and respect. While namake may be fun, it can also extend long into the night, especially if followed by a nijikai, a second round at another location. Returning home usually happens between 9 and 11 p.m. Many workers use this time to unwind with a bath, a cherished Japanese ritual, watch a bit of TV, or catch up on household chores. Bathing is not just about cleanliness, it's a moment of peace and mental reset. For many, there's little time left for hobbies or family life during the week. The cycle then resets for the next day. In summary, a typical working day in Japan is defined by structure, respect, and long hours. While this culture fosters deep commitment, teamwork, and efficiency, it also places heavy demands on individuals. The balance between dedication and well-being is still evolving. As the country continues to modernize and embrace new work trends, a gradual shift may take hold. But for now, tradition still shapes the core of Japanese professional life. As with many aspects of Japanese culture, the workday reflects a delicate balance between progress and preservation. Next, let's take a flight to Europe and observe how the rhythm of the working day unfolds in Germany, a place often praised for its efficiency, structure, and work-life balance. Let's now explore a typical working day in Germany, a country often associated with efficiency, punctuality, and a strong commitment to balancing work and personal life. With its strong economy and social safety net, Germany has cultivated a workplace culture that prioritizes structure and predictability, allowing people to plan their lives with confidence. In Germany, most people wake up around 6:30 to 7 a.m. The morning routine is structured but less rushed compared to some other countries. Many Germans start their day with a light breakfast, typically bread rolls, Brötchen, with butter, cheese, cold cuts, or jam, often accompanied by coffee or tea. Breakfast is usually eaten with family, and it's a time for calm, not chaos. Some people use this time to read the newspaper or listen to morning radio. Unlike in many fast-paced cultures, mornings in Germany are less about multitasking and more about setting a focused tone for the day. The commute to work often begins between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Depending on the region, Germans use a variety of transport: bicycles, cars, trams, or trains. In cities like Berlin or Munich, public transportation is highly efficient and widely used. Many people also walk or cycle to work, reflecting Germany's commitment to sustainability and healthy living. Roads and bike paths are well maintained, and punctuality is valued. Arriving late to work is generally frowned upon. For many, the daily commute includes reading, catching up on podcasts, or simply enjoying the calm before the workday begins. Most employees start work between 8 o'clock and 9 a.m. Upon arriving at the office, there is a casual but respectful greeting among coworkers. A simple Guten Morgen or nod is enough. The office environment is usually professional, but not excessively formal. Titles and hierarchies are respected, but communication is direct and open. Germans value clarity and precision. Meetings are structured, emails are to the point, and workplace discussions tend to be efficient and fact-based. Transparency and consistency are seen as key components of trust in the professional world. Workspaces are clean, functional, and quiet. Open-plan offices exist, but many companies still use separate rooms or smaller shared spaces to maintain focus. Distractions are minimized, and chatting during work hours is usually limited to necessary conversation. Employees are expected to manage their own time effectively without constant supervision. Punctuality is not just a social expectation, it's a professional standard. In many offices, it's common to use task lists and project management tools to stay organized and efficient. Germans typically work 7 to 8 hours a day, with a standard workweek of 35 to 40 hours. Overtime is generally avoided and, when necessary, often compensated with time off. The concept of Feierabend, which refers to the time after work for personal life, is deeply ingrained in the culture. Once the workday ends, people are expected and encouraged to disconnect completely. Employers and employees alike respect this boundary. Many companies implement policies that prevent sending emails after hours, promoting mental well-being and work-life balance. Around 12 to 1 p.m., it's time for lunch. Lunch is considered the main meal of the day, and it usually includes something warm. Dishes like sausages, schnitzel, potatoes, or pasta are common. Many companies have cafeterias, while others allow employees to step out to local eateries. Lunch breaks typically last 30 to 60 minutes, and it's acceptable to socialize and unwind. Unlike Japan, where lunch is often quiet and solitary, German workers are more likely to eat in small groups and enjoy light conversation. Some offices even encourage communal lunch as a team-building activity. In larger companies, there may be organized lunch clubs or rotating meal groups that allow employees to connect across departments. Afternoons are used for focused work, follow-up meetings, and completing tasks. Coffee breaks, known as coffee pause, are part of the culture but are usually brief. Around 3 o'clock or 4 p.m., employees may take a quick break to enjoy coffee and cake, especially in southern Germany. This tradition, known as Kaffee und Kuchen, is more common on Fridays or in more relaxed workplaces. In smaller firms or family-run businesses, this break may be an important social ritual, reinforcing bonds among colleagues. The workday usually ends between 4:30 and 6 p.m. Employees pack up and leave on time. Staying late is not considered a virtue, and in fact, working excessive overtime may raise concerns about poor time management. Most Germans prefer to finish their tasks within working hours. Managers and colleagues respect personal time, and it is rare to receive work emails or calls in the evening, a stark contrast to the expectations in Japan. Work is for work hours, and free time is considered essential for personal well-being. Evenings are devoted to personal activities, such as spending time with family, pursuing hobbies, cooking, or exercising. Many people join clubs, known as Verein, where they engage in everything from sports to music, art, or community volunteering. Some clubs focus on traditional crafts or folk dancing, while others might center around environmental activism or local history. These clubs are not just a hobby, they often form a central part of people's social lives, offering a strong sense of belonging and connection to the community. There are thousands of registered clubs across Germany, covering nearly every imaginable interest. This culture of organized leisure reflects the German value of structured balance in life, blending social engagement with personal development. Germans also value their privacy and personal space. Home is a sanctuary, and people often spend weekday evenings in peaceful routines, reading, watching TV, listening to music, or tending to household chores. Many enjoy long evening walks, known as Abendspaziergang, a quiet stroll through neighborhoods or parks to unwind. Dinners are usually light, bread, cheese, and cold cuts, and shared with family. Some households follow a tradition of Abendbrot, a simple evening meal that is both practical and intimate. Late-night socializing on weekdays is less common unless there's a special event or holiday. Social engagements are often planned well in advance, as Germans generally appreciate punctuality and order in all aspects of life. Time at home is seen as crucial for recharging and maintaining mental clarity. Work culture in Germany emphasizes quality over quantity. Employees are expected to be productive, not just busy. Efficiency, planning, and reliability are praised traits, and time management is considered a critical skill. Meetings start and end on time, deadlines are respected, and multitasking is often avoided in favor of focused work. Companies offer clear contracts, regulated hours, and strong employee protections. Labor unions play an active role in shaping workplace standards, and works councils are common in medium to large companies, giving employees a voice in decisions that affect them. There is also a legal right to disconnect. In some sectors, employees cannot be contacted outside work hours unless it's an emergency, reinforcing the respect for personal time. Additionally, German companies emphasize safety in the workplace, offering regular training and well-being checks. Germany also has one of the highest rates of paid vacation days in the world, typically 25 to 30 days annually, not including public holidays. Taking time off is not only accepted but encouraged, and it's common for employees to take extended summer holidays or go skiing in the winter. When Germans go on vacation, they truly disconnect, often traveling abroad or heading to nature retreats. It's considered inappropriate to disturb someone who is on leave, and coworkers typically respect this boundary completely. Vacation is seen as a vital part of maintaining productivity and overall well-being, not a luxury but a necessity. School holidays often align with adult vacation periods, making it easier for families to travel together. Many companies support sabbatical programs that allow employees to take several months off every few years for personal projects or rest. To summarize, the typical working day in Germany is built around efficiency, structure, and balance. Employees work hard but respect boundaries. There is a clear separation between work and private life, and the culture strongly supports mental health, rest, and sustainable productivity. Flexibility, responsibility, and a commitment to high standards define the German approach. While Japan may emphasize endurance, loyalty, and group harmony, Germany prioritizes organization, autonomy, and recovery. Both models reflect their society's core values, but Germany's version of professional life allows for both productivity and personal growth. Next, let's compare both countries side by side and see where the differences truly lie in mindset, structure, and everyday experience. Now that we've explored how a typical workday looks in Japan and Germany, let's break it down and compare these two cultures side by side, from early morning routines to evening rituals. These two countries may be known for their discipline and efficiency, but the ways in which they structure work and life couldn't be more different. Alarm clock daily routine and morning start. In Japan, mornings start early, often by 6 o'clock or 6:30 a.m., especially for those with long commutes from the suburbs into the city. The pace is fast, the trains are packed, and the sense of urgency is high. Breakfasts are simple and solitary, and getting out the door on time is a priority. In Germany, the typical wake-up time is around 6:30 to 7 a.m., but the atmosphere is more relaxed. Families often sit down together for breakfast, and there's time for coffee, a newspaper, or even a short walk. Commuting is smoother thanks to the country's well-integrated transport system, and many even cycle to work. Green Circle Germany offers a calmer, more human-paced morning. Office building, workplace environment, and culture. Japanese offices are hierarchical, highly formal, and group-oriented. Respect for rank, tradition, and seniority dictates much of the interaction. Team harmony is paramount, and open confrontation is rare. It's common for employees to stay late, often until their boss leaves, as a display of loyalty and dedication. In contrast, German offices prioritize clear communication, individual responsibility, and efficiency. Hierarchies exist, but are less rigid, and decisions are often based on consensus and logic rather than authority. Green Circle Germany values productivity and structure over appearances and formality. Bento box lunch and break culture. Lunch in Japan is practical and brief. Most workers bring their own bentos or buy convenience store meals, often eating at their desks or quietly in break rooms. Silence is expected, and socializing during breaks is minimal. In Germany, lunch is often a full, warm meal and a chance to reset. Colleagues go to cafeterias or restaurants, chat, and take their time. Breaks like coffee pause and the beloved coffee und Kuchen are small rituals that promote community and mental rest. Green Circle Germany turns lunch into both nourishment and social recharge. 6 o'clock end of the workday and after-hours culture. In Japan, the workday technically ends around 6 or 7 p.m., but many employees stay hours longer, not necessarily working, but being present. Afterward, there's often a namakai, a drinking party with coworkers that blurs the line between professional and social life. Participation is unofficially mandatory. In Germany, the concept of Feierabend is sacred. Once the clock hits 5 or 6 p.m., work is over. There are no expectations for overtime or social events unless voluntarily agreed. Green Circle Germany respects boundaries. Japan blends work and personal time. Man in lotus position work-life balance and well-being. Japan struggles with overwork and has even coined the word karoshi, meaning death from overwork. Long hours, social pressure, and lack of recovery time make work-life balance a national concern. Germany, on the other hand, actively promotes balance. Employees enjoy shorter work weeks, extensive vacation days, and robust worker protections. Mental health and personal well-being are openly discussed and supported. Green Circle Germany strongly supports rest, recovery, and life beyond work. Bar chart final reflection. Both Japan and Germany are built on strong work ethics, but the expression of that ethic differs sharply. Japan emphasizes devotion to the group, routine, and endurance. Germany focuses on individual autonomy, structured time, and quality over quantity. Neither system is perfect, and both have their challenges, but they reflect the deeper values of each society. At the end of the day, there's no perfect workday, only the one that fits your rhythm, values, and way of life. What we saw today were two very different systems. One where tradition, loyalty, and endurance shape the work culture, and another where structure, balance, and boundaries are the norm. Maybe you found yourself drawn to Japan's dedication and collective mindset. Or maybe Germany's clarity and respect for personal time resonated more with you. Either way, exploring how other people live and work helps us reflect on our own routines, choices, and even what we want to change.